Welcome to the Deep Dive with Farmtips Diary. Water has always been the lifeblood of farming. Without it, crops cannot grow, livestock cannot thrive, and communities cannot be sustained. But today, farmers across the globe are facing a new reality. Water scarcity is no longer a distant concern talked about in academic papers or climate conferences. It is here, and it is reshaping the way we farm, the way we eat, and the way we think about the future of agriculture. When we talk about water scarcity, we often think about deserts or drought-prone regions. But the truth is, water shortages are impacting some of the most fertile and productive agricultural areas in the world. From California's Central Valley to India's breadbasket states, farmers are being forced to reckon with a future where water is not guaranteed. This shift is not just about weather patterns, it is about population growth, industrial demand, climate change, and the economics of farming itself. Before we go deeper, I want to remind you that if you find value in conversations like this, make sure you like this video, share it with your fellow farmers and friends, and subscribe to Farmtips Diary. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss one of our deep dives into the future of farming. Now let's begin by understanding why water scarcity has become one of the biggest threats to global agriculture. The world's population is expected to reach nearly 10 billion people by 2050. That means food production needs to increase by at least 50% to feed everyone. At the same time, climate change is reducing rainfall reliability, melting glaciers that feed rivers, and increasing evaporation rates. This is creating a double bind for agriculture. On one hand, farmers need to grow more food than ever. On the other hand, they have less water to work with. Another layer of the problem is the competition for water. Agriculture already accounts for about 70% of freshwater use worldwide. But industries, cities, and households are demanding more water as well. This creates conflicts where farmers often find themselves at the losing end of negotiations or regulations. In many places, farmers are asked to cut back their water use to protect city supplies, leaving fields dry and unproductive. Let's take a closer look at the regions and crops most at risk in a drier future. In Africa, parts of the Sahel are experiencing longer dry seasons, making it nearly impossible for rain-fed farming communities to maintain stable harvests. In South Asia, particularly in India and Pakistan, groundwater tables are falling at alarming rates due to decades of over-extraction for rice and wheat production. In the United States, California's almond and alfalfa farmers are facing restrictions because their crops require massive amounts of irrigation, yet reservoirs are drying up. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, countries like Jordan and Saudi Arabia are struggling to balance water use between agriculture and drinking water, leading to significant cuts in domestic food production. Even in Europe, southern Spain and Italy are dealing with declining rainfall that threatens their fruit and olive industries. So what crops are most vulnerable? Water-intensive crops like rice, sugarcane, cotton, and almonds top the list. These crops require large amounts of irrigation to produce, and when water becomes scarce, they are often the first to be restricted. But it is not just about losing these crops. The ripple effect means higher food prices, shifting trade patterns, and in some cases, political instability. Given these challenges, farmers are turning to innovation. Water scarcity is not just a problem, it is also driving some of the most exciting advancements in agricultural technology today. Let's explore some of the innovative irrigation and water-saving technologies helping farmers adapt. Drip irrigation is one of the most significant advancements in this space. Unlike traditional flood irrigation, which wastes enormous amounts of water through evaporation and runoff, drip systems deliver water directly to the plant's roots in precise amounts. This method can save up to 60% of water compared to conventional systems, while also increasing yields. Another breakthrough is soil moisture sensors. These small devices are inserted into the soil and connected to mobile apps or farm management software. They allow farmers to monitor exactly how much water their soil needs, eliminating guesswork and preventing overwatering. Combined with weather forecasting tools, they create smart irrigation schedules that maximize efficiency. We also have innovations like hydroponics and aquaponics. While often associated with urban farming, these systems can be scaled for rural agriculture as well. Hydroponics uses nutrient-rich water instead of soil, recycling it in a closed-loop system. Aquaponics takes it further by combining fish farming with crop production, where fish waste provides nutrients for the plants, and the plants help filter the water for the fish. These systems can cut water use by up to 90% compared to traditional field farming. Another exciting area is the development of drought-resistant crop varieties through both conventional breeding and genetic modification. Scientists are creating plants that can withstand prolonged dry conditions without losing productivity. Crops like drought-tolerant maize, sorghum, and millet are becoming essential in areas facing water stress. But let's not overlook the economic dimension. Water scarcity is not just about physical shortages. It is also about rising costs. In many regions, water rights are becoming more expensive, and farmers have to compete in auctions or markets to secure irrigation access. The cost of pumping groundwater is also increasing as water tables drop deeper, requiring more energy and higher expenses. These rising costs are squeezing farm profit margins. For smallholder farmers who already operate on thin margins, the added burden of water expenses can be devastating. It can push them to abandon farming altogether, sell off their land, or shift to less profitable crops that require less water. In the long run, this could reduce overall food supply, pushing prices higher for consumers worldwide. So what does this mean for the future of food availability and security? If current trends continue, we could see a world where food becomes more expensive and less accessible, especially for vulnerable populations. Regions that rely heavily on imported food will face higher prices as exporting countries struggle to maintain their production. This could trigger humanitarian crises, migration, and geopolitical tensions. On the flip side, water scarcity could also drive positive change. It could accelerate the adoption of more sustainable farming practices, encourage governments to invest in better water infrastructure, and push consumers to reconsider wasteful consumption habits. In some regions, the crisis is already sparking collaboration between farmers, scientists, and policymakers to create long-term solutions. Now, let's turn to real-world examples of how farms are fighting back with smarter water management and sustainable practices. In Israel, farmers have become global leaders in water efficiency. The country's agricultural sector uses advanced drip irrigation, desalinated water, and wastewater recycling to maximize productivity. As a result, Israeli farmers produce high yields with minimal water, and their techniques are now being exported worldwide. In California, some vineyards are experimenting with deficit irrigation, a practice where grapevines are intentionally given less water than their full requirement. This not only saves water but also produces higher quality grapes with more concentrated flavors, which fetch premium prices in the wine market. In India, community-led initiatives are helping small farmers build rainwater harvesting structures, recharge groundwater, and adopt micro-irrigation systems. These grassroots efforts are improving resilience at the local level, ensuring that farming communities can continue producing food despite declining water supplies. Even livestock operations are getting creative. Some dairy farms are recycling water from cleaning barns and reusing it for irrigation or cooling. Pig farms are adopting advanced manure management systems that capture water for reuse while reducing environmental pollution. These examples show us that water scarcity, while a massive challenge, can also be a driver of resilience and innovation. Farmers who adapt quickly and adopt smarter practices will not only survive, but also thrive in the new reality. Before we wrap up, here are 3 actionable strategies you can consider for your own farm to improve water management. First, invest in monitoring. Whether it is a simple soil moisture probe or a more advanced digital system, knowing exactly when and how much water your crops need can save both money and resources. Second, rethink your crop choices. Consider diversifying into less water-intensive crops, or explore varieties that are bred for drought resistance. Making changes now can protect your farm from future shocks. Third, collaborate with others. Water is a shared resource, and community-level projects like rainwater harvesting, shared irrigation infrastructure, or watershed management can benefit everyone. As we close this deep dive, I want to remind you again to like this video if you found it useful. Share it with other farmers or anyone who cares about the future of food. And subscribe to Farmtips Diary. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you are always updated when we release new deep dives. Water scarcity is indeed farming's next great challenge, but with awareness, innovation, and collective action, it is a challenge we can overcome. Farmers have always been problem solvers, and history shows us that agriculture has adapted to countless crises before. This is just the next chapter in that story. We hope this exploration has been valuable. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. See you again on our next deep dive.